it introduced me in first person shooter. So it basically trained me to play every other type of game. This is what I think. I feel like um that skill that I used to have, like that twitch skill, like turn the shooting and all that type of stuff. I
Yeah.
learned from Halo. So that in turn
Yeah,
that
you nice and Uncharted.
yeah, see, that's what
Yeah.
that's where I get it from. I reload on every like every kill. Had to reload, had to do all types of different tactics in order to win the game, in order to beat my opponent. So all that rooted from Halo. Um, you know. So let me move on because I know y'all probably be like, I'm an Xbox or Halo. But
That's hilarious.
we're gonna go into the next generation before I end this out, which is basically Fallout, man. That's my game right there. My personal
Oh
favorite
boy.
game of all time. He say, "Oh boy," but it's the truth. I feel like no, the game is better than it. That's my opinion. I know these guys don't agree with it, but I feel like it does a lot of things right. So that, like, I get into
Mm.
a little bit on later on because we're gonna have a lot of time to talk about stuff like that. Then on the
Oh yeah.
Xbox. He said Gears. I agree with him. Gears. That's an experience that has to be experienced by any gamer. I really don't like how people get together and talk about, oh, Gears is horrible or whatever just because it's on another system. But I feel like you should experience it. Like, open your mind. Because it's something that probably surprise you. And make you open you to be a better gamer, but that's just how I feel. Then Uncharted for the PlayStation, my first PlayStation 3 game, Uncharted 2. Now, matter of fact, it was
Yes,
Uncharted
sir.
1. Um, Uncharted 1, I got Uncharted 1 like a week before Uncharted 2 came out, and that's when I got the PlayStation a week before Uncharted 2 came out. So I said, I gotta beat it, man. So, I sat down and I beat it, man. That game blew me away. But what Uncharted 2 did, it defined basically what gaming is supposed to be. It set the standard. You've seen it on all the different media. Uncharted 2 is the next coming for the PlayStation. I mean, for the gaming whole gaming industry. What I'm saying, all types of stuff going on. But it's a great game. Like it's like an action packed movie all in one. And I feel like it's something that you need to experience. So having that said, that's a little background on me, but no, I'm gonna give it back to Scholar.
Yes, sir. Well, as for me, I'm Scholar, aka Scholar the 49er. Come see me on Madden.
Oh,
That's my
no.
favorite team. I'll wash y'all dudes up
No.
one by one. Um, so yeah, as far as I'm concerned. Oh, my PSN ID by the way is Scholar. I don't know if you mentioned it, Ace. Your PSN and your gamer tag. I don't know if
Oh,
you want to tell the people.
oh yeah. I'm sorry about that, y'all, but my PlayStation ID is tactical ace, well, tactical underscore ace 89, and then my gamer tag, my Xbox Live gamer tag is tactical space ace, and then I got a Steam account on the computer, which I don't really get on a lot, but you may catch me on there every now and then, and that's just like tactical ace all together, um, by itself. So.
Cool. Mo, did you shout out your gamer tag and PSN?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Sure
he got it.
enough.
All right, cool. So as mine's is Scholar the way my name is spelled. If some of y'all seeing this right now, is above my head. Scholla. It's scholar basically like the dictionary word, but I spell it differently. Um,
Hmm.
as far as I'm concerned, how pretty much this thing got started is that I had this idea. I wanted to kind of have like a community thing where we talk about games and just have that built-in community look, and so to basically start a podcast that we could just discuss games and just get it in about anything, all things gaming.
Or
So one day I'm chilling with Mode and I'm running this idea by him. I'm like, yo, I want to do X, Y, and Z, and he was like, yo, we should do it. We should do it. I'm hyped. Let's go. Let's go right now. So I get my brother Ace on the phone, and I'm like, "Yo, I want to start this thing." And
Yep.
he was like, "I'm down." So he
Do
got
it.
down, and voila, console controllers was birthed.
Yep.
We definitely, like Mo was saying, we were trying to figure out something that could describe the way we feel when we play games, that uncontrollable, like, yo, I gotta play. I mean, I want to know what's going on, the next story, the next adventure, the next everything. And, instead of saying addicted, we say control,
Yeah.
so we controlled by the console. And we just found a fancy way to say us instead of ers. So when y'all guys see it, y'all like console controllers is a US and not a ERS.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically that's how that got started. As far as my gaming background, I mean, I started since like I'm talking PC, Commodore 64. We had the little. I remember this game, this WW. I'm a big wrestling fan, for y'all. If y'all don't know, y'all can
Stone
get
Cold.
washed up.
Stone Cold.
Stone Cold, Stone Cold. Y'all can get washed up in SmackDown versus Raw 11 too. Um, but there was this game, there was this wrestling game. If anybody remember this joint, I'm gonna go stupid because I think it's like me and 10 other people that know about this game.
No.
But anyway, it was this wrestling game on Commodore 64. It was in black and white. And back then it was shot in frame. So my favorite wrestler is Macho Man Randy Savage. So I had picked Macho Man Randy Savage, and anybody who know Macho Man Randy Savage, he has his finisher move where he climbs the turnbuckle, he puts his hands up, and he jumps off, and he comes down with a diving elbow.
Yeah.
So the way the computer would do it is they would do it in frames. So I guess it kind of actually brought out the epicness, or not even the epicness, but more dramatic.
Yeah.
That it was shot in frame. So I would get on the top, and it'll basically be like you're on the top, that's a frame. You jump in the air, that's a frame. You jump down with the elbow, that's a frame, and then you pin the dude, that's a frame, and then you get up and celebrate or whatever. So it was a high game.
Yeah.
Then I went from that to Atari 2600, ColecoVision. Didn't own those. Those are my uncles. They had stuff like Jungle Hunt. That was my favorite joint. Like it was basically Tarzan. You jump. They got these little ropes, these vines or whatever, and you just jump. Basically, it's platforming. You jumping from rope to rope, trying not to fall into the.
No, I think I remember that game. Was that on the computer?
Well, it could have been because you know how they do the cross thing, but
Yeah.
I know it on 2600. That's where I played it at.
Oh, okay.
It
Wow.
could have been on the computer, but you basically like, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
oh,
I think I do remember that one. Yeah.
like, and you just
Oh,
jump
you
and
took.
rope the.
Wait a minute.
Um,
No, hmm. You know what I'm thinking of? I'm thinking of Pitfall. That's what I'm thinking about.
Oh, okay.
I remember Pitfall too. It could have been similar, man. I don't remember playing Pitfall a whole bunch, but I do remember the game. Um, but yeah, that was one of my favorite games on that in that era.
Yeah.
Then I went from that to my first own console, which was Nintendo. That was a great day for me. I was like, wow, I actually have my own console. Um,
Yeah.
so and yeah, it was a it was a gift and a curse because I don't even know if y'all remember the classic blowing the cartridge to get
Oh,
the
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, it was for the Sega. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna get to that too. That's funny you said that. But we had to blow the cartridge and blow. I feel like my brain cells is busting. I was
Yeah.
in air consciousness and all that just to get this game working. They had all type of tricks. You had to turn the Nintendo upside down. You had to put the cartridge in a certain way to try to trick it. It was crazy. We even stepped it up to Q-tips and
Yeah.
alcohol.
Oh, yeah.
Took the joint and just wiped the sides of the thing and then try to get it to work like that. Um, so it's funny you mentioned the Sega thing because when I went from Nintendo, like sometimes I like to be loyal. So if I got a Nintendo, I fell in love with Nintendo, I want to move on to the next thing would be Super Nintendo. But I kind of did my homework or whatever, and I just kind of like the Genesis a little bit better. So I rock with the Genesis. That was my next own console.
Right, right.
Classics like Alter Beast and Sonic and
Yeah.
all those joints, man. So how you gonna move me, son? Those
No,
was classics. I
Genesis.
know you was Super Nintendo, but
it's just for life.
anyway, I'm gonna tell you a quick story because it's funny you was talking about the Genesis. You had to blow the Genesis because I was like, oh, thank God, no more blowing. Just
Yeah.
put the cartridge in. You good?
Yeah.
I personally never had an issue with the Genesis. I don't think I ever had to blow my Genesis. Maybe there was a one or two times it acted stupid, but for the most part, I remember just having a blow free pause
Yeah.
situation where I could just put the game in. But right before I got the Genesis, I did my homework on Turbo Graphics, and
Oh yeah.
I was gonna get Turbo Graphics 16 because it was looking like the hot thing of the month, and also it had the little chip where you put the chip in. It wasn't a cartridge; it was like a little computer chip that you slide in the game. So I said I'm gonna rock with that because I don't want to. It was because I was hurt by Nintendo. Like I didn't want to blow no more. So I was like, if I get a chip, I'm guaranteed that none of my games is gonna mess up. But then as I did my homework a little bit more, I got to the Genesis and I was like, yeah, I'm rocking with them.
Okay.
Um, but also big era in the 90s was Street Fighter. And
Oh,
Street Fighter just ruled the world. I mean, the whole world was
Yeah.
playing Street Fighter.
yeah.
I was in the arcade, catch me in a pizza shop, catch me in the mom and pop shop. You know, you put your quarters up on the thing, you wait your turn, you get it in. Of course, it grew. Champion Edition, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter. This they even
Yeah.
had this leg Street Fighter where you got the the Hadoukens. Anybody don't know about the Hadoukens? It's a fireball
I do get.
that you throw from Ken and Ryu. I mean, other people are in the game that throw fireballs too, but Ken and Ryu were pretty much the begin or end of all of
Yeah.
that. But
You know, I'm
the
sorry,
games.
not even cut. I'm sorry to cut you off with that, but just while you saying Ken and Ryu, just how popular Street Fighter was, other games came out that was tried to rip off Street Fighter so bad they had imitators of Ken and Ryu, man. And that's how popular Street Fighter was. I'm not saying Mortal Kombat. I'm not
uh,
gonna start anything with Ace.
Nah,
uh, uh,
Ed Boon already say he was inspired by Street Fighter. I mean, everybody knows that Mortal Kombat was inspired by Street Fighter, but he took it and he made a world that was his own. Like
yeah.
he took elements that was good in Street Fighter and he
And
made it
made
his
it
own,
better.
and he
Made it better.
combat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll let y'all get into that. But so back to Street Fighter, they had this little, I don't know if somebody rigged the arcade or rigged the thing, but people were able to throw Hadoukens like horizontally and vertically, and it would like cross each other, and you could throw like 8 of them in a row. It was
Wow.
crazy. I was like, who did this? Then you could do Hadoukens in the air.
That was the
And
birth
I
of
know
modern.
eventually they added it officially, but I think it came from them glitch machines. Like used to be able to jump in the air and throw Hadouken, and it was crazy. But that was a good time. Uh, it ruled the world. And then I remember it coming for the first time to home consoles, and I got the
Turbo.
Sega Genesis version, and Mo, I think he was rocking with the Super Nintendo. So, but I remember back then doing my homework on that as well, and I remember that they were saying that the Super Nintendo version was better, had more colors and more pop, and then the soundtrack was more cleaner and all that crazy stuff. So I was a little disappointed by that. But Street Fighter is Street Fighter nonetheless. So all y'all cats out there running y'all mouth about y'all the Street Fighter King, come holler at me. Um, and so yeah, that was that. And then of course I went through the whole Sony came into the game. They came out of nowhere. I mean,
Sir.
Nintendo and Sega pretty much had that thing on lock, and then Sony
Hmm.
just came and said, "Hey, we want a piece of this too." They jump in. Um, I didn't even know how people was gonna receive it, but I think their timing was perfect. Like they came in
Yeah.
right when, like, if they would have came in during the Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis era, I don't think they would have survived. It'd have been like hard to break it. But
Yeah.
when they came in, it was like perfect timing. And then people was like, "What's this new thing?" And then their games were out of this world.
Yeah.
Then everybody jumped on the Sony thing, and I moved that up to the PlayStation 2.
Hmm.
Um, I remember Resident Evil 2 just blew my mind. I was like, yo, this is what I'm talking about, right? If I could pick two games that really just made me go, this is gaming, I'm in for life, is Resident Evil 2
Okay.
and Metal Gear Solid 2.